Hello, this is the Goodly Christian Witch. This is your fortune telling for December of 2013. The month of December leaves November behind as the sacrificial cauldron that provided us both dissolution and rebirth. Rebirth has come upon us as we have allowed ourselves to be changed and renewed by the processes of alchemy and transmutation. We are not as we were before, and even though we do recognize ourselves, we know we have been honed, tempered, and formed more fully into what the Creator intended us to be. The sensation of anticipation has returned to us by the elemental forces of creative destruction. We have passed successfully through another round of the grand wrestling of wills. The unfathomable will of one was perceived as being opposed to the forceful will of another. Seemingly opposing politics, religions, cultures, and social mores have been tested and transformed by the righteous indignation of each person. We all fancied ourselves in our own kingdom. We are right and do in fact reign supreme in the kingdom of our own making. The battle of wills has been simply the force of one king attempting to impose his will upon the land of another monarch. We each want supremacy, majesty, and beauty in our own realm of laws and ways. We have fought for respect, demanded our rights, and stood tall in the face of overwhelming opposing forces. We have done well and become stronger, nobler, and much more magnanimous. No one truly hates the elite of the earth or the monarchs who sit upon their thrones, for we are all becoming elite of the earth, or the monarchs of our own kingdoms. We have been chosen by the gods, and we are beginning to understand the awesome responsibility that goes hand in hand with power. This state of affairs has now brought us to our time of connecting to the giving of gifts over our varied cultural and religious traditions. The symbols of the holidays bring us memories of past holidays and people we knew. The holidays now have become the blessed symbol of sharing light, symbolized in the passing of the flame of one candle to another. This process costs us nothing. There is no diminishment of light when one candle is lit by another. There is only more light and more brightness shown when we share in this way. Bread, wine, wax, and money can be divided. The higher we go up the elemental realms, the more we attain the concept that the more we give, the more we receive. Here, this is not one creature standing above all others, granting them sustenance from a large storehouse of treasure protected by walls and armies. No. This is a realm of light, where the way to give is to participate rather than win or lose. Here, we give by allowing another to light our candle and humbling ourselves that we too need community, participation, and to receive. This only progresses towards true bestowal and semblance of form with the realm of light if we then proceed to light the candle of another who grants us the abundance of their own humility, and that they allow us to fulfill our need to give. This is the only way forward, and any other path results in ugliness rather than beauty and rudeness rather than grace. We will cling to each other in December as the flame of the candle clings to the source of its sustenance. Fire cannot live without the source of fuel to feed it or the oxygen to inspire it. New ideas will now lead to new sensations never before known, and indeed, ideas require sensation to be felt as real or true. The religious promises that we know of a Savior returned are found in all cultures, and everyone longs for this Savior who is the source of all light. This promise is a nice idea that can only lead to disappointment if the actual sensation of a Savior is absent. Now, however, we begin to recognize the sensation of the promised one arriving, which leads to great joy formerly only seen and felt in fairy tales. Where we are going is a path towards a still landscape complete with the ancient ruins of once mighty civilizations. Ancient songs can be heard in the distance of the future, played by ancient instruments. A long-forgotten god of nature sings his lonely tune, waiting for the new morning. We walk towards a new year with trepidation, wanting events of biblical proportion to unfold, to fulfill the telling of a well-known story we have been hearing and retelling our entire lives. Everyone chants, "I hope the cataclysm doesn't happen. I hope it's not true," while secretly desiring a fulfillment of the fairy tales told to them since youth. These types of hidden inner desires expressed by socially acceptable notions of "there is nothing new under the sun" remain. Of course, there really isn't anything new under the sun. There is, however, and there are, new suns, planets, and objects in the heavens discovered in ever-increasing frequency and number. There are also new and wondrous land chimeras and sea creatures populating the realms of the earth and the ocean kingdoms, the sky above freckled with new creatures as well. We will soon discover that the mythological griffins, leviathans, and dragons were quite real and adaptable to the formidable environmental changes of the day. We have gazed upward, admiring the great structures we have built, and aspire to even greater heights into the heavens. Humankind has ignored the status and conditions of the creatures who live below them on the land and who fill the seas. We move ahead to meet them and find out how they have survived and what they have become. Enjoy the anticipation of the new and possible events and opportunities that are just beginning to come into sight as we look forward to a new year. This has been the Goodly Christian Witch. Good fortune to you.